Ms. Taj?
I would imagine that the law is for the spending, so that would be up to us to comply with the law. But I could be wrong. Just going back to what Mr. Siddiqui said, I think to look at this in terms of categories, when we are the ones who decide what category it goes into based on our priorities and what we want to do, I think it's more useful to look at the larger pool, because ultimately the decision falls on the board and the responsibility of funding legally falls on our shoulders, and how we want to allocate that funding falls on our shoulders, because it ultimately will fall on the spending of the resources rather than the county allocation. But I will defer to Mr. Blum to speak to that.
But our spending on special ed is driven by federal requirements and federal law. So that's not a discretionary thing that the board is deciding on, because if we don't put money in special ed, we're going to end up moving it over there to pay for services.
Okay, so Ms. Coombs, Mr. Blum, hold on. Mr. Blum would like to comment on this.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Todd, I think you and Ms. Delmont Small are saying the same thing. At least I'm interpreting it the same way. You are absolutely correct, Ms. Taj. It is a board responsibility. And I think what Ms. Delmont Small is saying is just asking us to double check that as the board works towards finalizing its budget, that it be in compliance with that, because as you say, it is a responsibility of the board and no one else. It's not the counties for sure.
Okay, Ms. Taj?
Correct. And just to, looking at this globally as a total budget, and then where our priorities and allocations lie within that budget, what are we willing to increase? What are we willing to decrease? What are we willing to give up? Those are negotiations that the board must have. So I guess I'm looking for direction in terms of just why are we going down these categories without having priorities outlined and knowing that we control where this money goes? So really we should be looking at it as a full global budget.